All right, so this is going to be a fun night. One of the funnest things we do each year is give out awards for our employee owners. It's very, very fulfilling and just a great joy to do that. So we're really looking forward to this. And we're going to get started tonight with some service awards, some 20-year service awards. So Scooter has the first one.
Right, I'm going to utter a sentence that I never in my life thought I would utter. I'm about ready to give a dude a ring. So Chris Roberts, you want to come up and get your service award? Chris has been here 20 years. I think he's worked for me the whole time, for the most part. He's really excited to come up and do this speech. No, I didn't have that.
Working under Scott for the last 10 years, I deserve this.
I've got the next one, and I met this young lady, and we had purchased Grimm, and I went to Phoenix, Arizona, and I wanted to go see her office, and the first thing I found out, it was located right above a bar. So we had a second floor right above the bar, and so usually that's where they met for all the meetings, was at the bar. So went in the accounting department, and they said, hey, you're gonna love this gal. She's a hard worker, she's in charge, she's got everything under control. And I went in, and they were right, and she had one way of doing everything, and in the beginning, we might have had a little trouble with that, huh? In the beginning, it was a little, you know, that magnet. Sometimes when you take a magnet and you go like that, they push apart. Well, we had a little of that going on. But over time, that completely changed, and I would tell you that there's no one more dedicated, knows more about what we do and how we do it, and has so many different facets that she adds to our organization, whether it's safety, it's the accounting department, it's training people, it's going to different parts of the country when we need her to. Dee is just amazing, and Dee Sanders, 20 years. Come on,
Okay, this next award's almost as awkward as giving a dude a ring. This is the Aesop Man Award for the best excavator operator. And I think it's the first year that we've ever gave it to a superintendent because he can't find his own excavator operator. So Roger Bell, this is both an award and a cut on you, so please come up, accept your best excavator and superintendent award.
What's that? Opportunity. These guys gave me the opportunity to do this for the last 16 years. The best bunch of people to work for, right here. It's all you surround yourself by. Y'all, bunch of great people. I love y'all.
So I'm here to present the best loader operator, and this is a dude that works up in the West. This fine employee owner has been with Garney over 10 years, and he's part of the Yarte family. And anybody who's worked out West knows the Yartes. I believe they've had his uncle and his father work for almost 25 years. So this is a spectacular operator. Really good in tight places, and you work around existing plants. This is the man that you want. And I've got two other awards to present, and they all center around safety too. All these three gentlemen are the safety record's impeccable. So this award goes to Frankie Yarte.
I'm here to present the Pipe Layer of the Year Award. This year's recipient has been with Garney for 12 years. He was one of the original enrollees in the National Banks operation when we started up down there. coming to work for Garney in 2004. He's worked behind some very top-notch excavator operators, and anybody knows anything about pipeline knows that excavator operator pipeline team is key to success and productivity. And he's always had strong synergy and chemistry with the excavator operators he's worked with, and is very good at laying a zero leak pipeline. He's always gone anywhere we needed him to go and asked him to go out of town. He attends all the Garney functions. He's really bought into the ESOP, and enrolled in the 401k here a few years ago. He currently lays pipe behind Jerry Sharon on Tim Brewster's crew, and he goes by the name Tio, but Teofimo Benuelo is this year's Pipe Layer of the Year. Tim, are you here?
I get the pleasure of announcing the Best Laborer Award. This man joined us, I believe, in 1995, and he was hired by Blaine Eldrith in Louisiana. And I first met him in Virginia on the Lake Gaston project, and he worked as a laborer for Blaine for years and years. And when Blaine retired, I think he spent some time with Gil, and then he took a little break and came back and worked with Brian Duran all over the country. Joe Logan, I believe he currently works with Andrew Kramer in Virginia, so he's been to Virginia and back. Great guy, always has a smile on his face, very consistent. Getting up there in age a little bit, maybe not the fastest laborer we have, but very consistent and will always do anything you want. Very appreciated. So, Joe Logan.
I'm here to present Best Carpenter. Anybody who has built wastewater, water treatment plants and pump stations know how important carpenters are. And this fine employee owner has been with Garney for 18 years. He's a lead carpenter out at the Dodd Water Treatment Plant, and again, an excellent safety record. Raul has been with us, said for over 18 years, and worked generally out in the West. And Raul's trade is to train the younger guys, so he's done a great job with that. So tough. We always give him the tough farm work. I personally worked with Raul on 3 projects. Getting the tough, more difficult jobs to form up. So, anyway, Best Carpenter goes to Raul Ballesteros. All right, I've got the next one also. This is also from the West. This is Best Mechanical Craftsman. And again, anybody who has worked on water, wastewater plants, if you have a good mechanical craftsperson, it's a treasure. So this fine employee owner has been with Garney 8 years. He was one of our ESOP persons that spoke with Representative Kaufman when he came out to Brighton. So he's an excellent example of what an employee owner should be. He's also brought several craftspeople to the NTP project, which we needed desperately. Again, excellent safety, excellent attitude. I can't say enough about Mario Capio.
I'm here to announce the Rookie of the Year ESOP Man Award. This gentleman works on our Soku Dam project in Georgia. He works for Johnny O, is that right? His name is Javier Hernandez. He's been working with us for about 6-7 months now. He's done an excellent job both on the concrete and the mechanical portion of the project, and has had a terrific impact on our safety on the Soku Dam. So, Rookie of the Year, Javier Hernandez.
Some of y'all in this room know my early childhood upbringing. I was born in Nigeria, Africa, and lived the first 8 years of my life there. And one time actually lived in a mud hut with a thatched roof and a dirt floor with no running water. And the only relevance of that is the fact that I know firsthand what it's like to live in a third world country where there is no good access to potable water. This year's recipient of the Community Service Award took it to the extreme and took it to a community outside the United States of America. In the Dominican Republic, there was a small village there of about 3,000 people. A different project team had, as I understand it, had installed a well. And Jeff Seal organized a group of Garney folks, Clay Green, Gary Minnick, Ben Ramsbottom, that it, to go down and run the distribution system through this village. And I think they were down there for about a week, laid 12,000 feet of PVC pipe, all done by hand. And it was a very special experience for them. And the amount of appreciation those villagers expressed was huge. And it really was a real all-out effort on Jeff's part to, along with everything else and all the work that he was managing to organize this trip and accomplish what he did. There's a lot of Water for People projects going on, and Jeff really took the initiative on this. And the only downside is, after laying 12,000 foot of pipe in a week with shovels, Jeff wanted to get rid of all the company excavators when he got back to Nashville. Jeff Seal.
So, they've asked me to talk a little bit about what we did here and kind of how I got involved. It's kind of like a long story short, I guess. It was probably started about 3, maybe even 4 years ago. We were doing work on a job in Knoxville, and one of the engineers that was involved in the project that we were building in Knoxville had spent a year in Guatemala doing some missionary work, and while he was there, one of the things that they noticed, or there was an issue there, was that there wasn't a good source of drinking water. That the people there where he was living were drinking out of the same water that cows and farm animals were drinking out of and using as a bathroom. And the clean water that they did have was pretty far distance away. And they'd have to walk there, put it in jugs, and then walk it back. So they spent a lot of time walking back and forth to get water. So that was the first trip that was put together to go to Guatemala and do a similar system there. We didn't go on that one, and there was a couple after that that fell through and didn't ever come to fruition. But this project we did in the Dominican was in partnership with the Pujos Foundation, which there's a baseball player, Tony, you probably know. Is it Albert Pujos? Pujos, yeah, Pujos. So he's actually from this village, and he reached out to Living Water, who then reached out to the same group of guys that I've been working with in Knoxville, Knox Pro Corps, on some of the other trips to get somebody to come in and put this water distribution system in. So, through them and a few engineers in the industry around Nashville and Knoxville, kind of pieced this together and came up with this plan, put it together, and went down. Clay, Gary, Ben, and I, and a few other local engineers made the trip down there and put in about 12,500 feet of pipe in a week. So, I came back and, when we're having tough days, production, not getting production on jobs here in the States with excavators, I've probably said it 50 times since then. Well, I don't understand why we can't do that. I went to the Dominican and we hand dug 1,250 feet of pipe in a week. You know, why can't we get better production? But anyway, it was an awesome experience. It was a good time, learned a lot, met a lot of good people. You know, just a way, always kind of looked at, I can't do much, but I can lay pipe. So, you know, how can I use my my experience and my skills to help somebody else out? And this is kind of what happened with all that. You know, just get involved, find a way that you can get involved, use the skills that we have to help out other people. So, thank you.
I get the pleasure of presenting this year's Eastern Hourly Safety Award. This goes to the SEAL Abzajian. Most of you know him as Big SEAL. We started together back in '07. I've been together for the majority of the time. We've grown to be pretty great friends, and he's a great guy to have on your side. Pays real close attention to the small details. That helps your safety. You imagine your safety as a pyramid. If you start having a lot of small incidents here and there, it'll build up to a catastrophic event. And if you can keep the small incidents down, it'll help prevent the big incidents. And he's that guy. He helps me on a day-to-day basis keep everybody safe and keep everybody running. So I'm proud to accept this award for him.
I've had the opportunity to work with this man for the last 5 years, and he's been just a wonderful, integral part of what we're doing over at one of our nuclear sites in South Carolina. Greg Harris and I have met this guy, or he's been on Greg Harris's group, and started out with Steve Ford, and since I'm not much of a speaker, I thought I'd turn this over to Mr. Harris. He's much more articulate and better looking than myself, so I'll just turn it over to you.
Dave asked for a stunt double. Now, this next cat's been around for almost 10 years. And for the folks that know him, man, he's the most humble, kind-hearted, selfless person that I actually know in the organization. His level of respect for the craft people and his level of respect for the people that he works with is really incredible, which makes him hugely effective. His ability to connect with people and his ability to achieve results are really magical. A lot of folks in this room know David Chronister. To my knowledge, he's the only person that ever worked for David Chronister from day one that David liked. So I don't know what that tells you. This gentleman's been instrumental in a number of safety awards that we've won, and I think he's just truly a special safety person. Brandon Blevins.
All right, Dave, that wasn't fair, but I'm trying to call Greg. So this is the Hourly Safety Award for the Central area. This individual has been in our area for the last 10 years, and the 10 years that I've known him, that he's been working on projects, he's never had a reportable incident on any of his crews. Usually when you do job safety walks, you always find guys without safety glasses, no gloves. This individual on his crews, they always have their glasses. They're always wearing their seatbelts and the equipment, and he just does a great job of mentoring the younger guys. This individual also helps us in the Midwest a great deal with breaking down our cranes, setting them up, and he's always done it safely. Matt McCann is the winner of the Safety Award for the Central area.
I have the Central Safety Salary Award. Contrary to popular belief, this guy's not just a pretty face. He's respected by the owners, respected by the project team, respected by his crews. He's a tell it like it is, lead by example. He works safe, his guys work safe. I've had the privilege of working with him for the last 2 years on the St. Joe project. He's a civil superintendent. He's been with Garney 3 years. In the last 2 years, he's poured 11,000 yards of concrete on 20 different structures with 30 different guys, 0 lost time. Just today, he also won the Best Idea Award. For the Central Salary Safety Guy Award today, Chad Markley.
All right, I get the opportunity to hand out 2 safety awards for the West, and I'll just get into it. But the first award for salary goes to Debaldo Esperanza. He's an Arizona guy. He's not here tonight. I don't actually know him very well, but what I do know is I learned a lot from him at a conference such as this, where he's told a story about when OSHA came to the job site. And it's something I will always remember how serious he took it. So I'll give this to Dee. And the next award here is for a guy. His name is Oso. Some of the folks in Colorado will know that name, Oso or Bear. And it's for Dustin Cronin. Dustin Cronin leads our crane operator operation in Colorado. And what he's taught me is the value of pre-planning and pick plans. He picked some very large cake hoppers on our job up at Brighton, Colorado. But Dustin's been around 8 years, and just he is very good at pre-planning. So we'll take these awards back to those folks. So.
I'm here to give out the MVP for Project Manager Plan. This individual we hired out of the University of Central Florida. He walked into my office. He's the only guy I've ever hired with an earring and a punk haircut. He's been with us 9 years. He literally walked in my office and it took me about 30 seconds to want to hire him. We knew he was special then. He's moved around a number of different projects. He's worked in the southern tip of Florida all the way down to Key West, up to Florence. He's settled now in Charleston. Him and his wife Amy just had a baby. He just finished up 4 projects last year in the Charleston area, all of which exceeded their gross margin potential. I'm very proud of him and what he's accomplished over those 9 years and the impact he's had both on myself, plant operations in the East, the people he mentors and trains. His name is Matt Reeves.
Tonight's recipient of the PIPE Project Manager of the Year. I first met this guy, I can't remember now, it's probably been 14 or 15 years ago. When he first applied for a position, I called one of his references. At the time, he had been an equipment manager, and the guy told me that he managed the equipment like it was his own, that he was one of a kind. He's very, very cost conscious, tough negotiator, company man through and through. He's made money or beat budget on most of the projects that he's managed over the years. He's a pusher with a high sense of urgency. Throughout my career, I've met very, very, very few people who I can trust and do trust unconditionally. And I trust him unconditionally. He spends the majority of his time out of town, a lot of it in Kentucky. He's actually up in Virginia right now. When I asked him to go up there and help out, he's been with Garney since we started up our operation in 2003 in Nashville. And I could not have done what I did in those early years in Nashville without his help. This year's recipient is Gary Goff.
Testing. I'm not much for words, but this next award is for Plant Superintendent of the Year. And this guy, as you get older, you work with a lot of different people. And you pick on some of their traits and you drop off some of their traits. This guy, I worked with him the first time 2 companies ago. We were both a lot younger, and I had a lot more hair and less weight, but you're about the same. But it was with, he taught me a lot there, laughed at me a lot, because I was just a dumb field engineer, but he taught me a lot. And he's probably, then we became competitors. He worked for a different company than what I did. Now we come back together for a great company in Gardy. This guy can motivate a crew like nobody I've seen. He's always made money on labor, and he also believes in the philosophies and goals of Gardy. He's willing to give up people to make the company whole. And then the best thing I probably like about him, though, is that he understands that he's not perfect and that he keeps striving to try to be perfect. And with that, this recipient is Tim Pine.
This year's recipient of the Pipe Superintendent of the Year takes pride in quality workmanship. 0 leaks is always his goal. Over the past 15 years, I only know of 1, maybe 2 situations where he's had a leak on a job and it absolutely tore him up. He takes pride in and takes time to train and develop his hourly craft people because he wants them to grow and get better and understand not just what to do, but why they do it. His crew is extremely loyal to him. He's very interested in job cost. He wants to know how the jobs are doing. He wants to know where the money is, both on the cost and revenue side. Again, from a safety standpoint, it's very important. 0 injuries are always of the utmost importance on his crew. He's also a damn good excavator operator. Quality workmanship, for anybody that knows about pressure testing pipe, we had a job a few years ago where in Livingston, Tennessee, that had to be pressured up to 500 PSI in the field, a ductile iron line. And I'd never seen that done before. Hope I never have to do it again. But the job tested at 500 PSI with 0 leaks. He's always gone where we needed him to go. Can't say he always wanted to go where we needed him to go, but he has always gone where we needed him to go. And he's been a part of the national operation since we started up in 2003. This year's recipient is Kevin Griffin.
This next award is our ESOP Ambassador Award. This award was started in 2010 to recognize an individual who promotes and demonstrates the strength of our ESOP culture. Previous winners included Tom Dahl, Steve McCandless, David Lustig, Sean Bryson, and Mike Gravy. It's an honor to give out this award as the ESOP chairman. And the winner of the 2015 award is exactly that. Comes to work every day helping to promote our ESOP culture and help others to understand it better. When I asked some of this individual's fellow employees to give me some thoughts, the words honest, straightforward, no nonsense, always willing to help, fun, supportive, cheerful, great laugh, loving, caring, were some of the words that I got back to describe him. I was lucky enough to travel to quite a few ESOP presentations to the job sites last year with this individual, and it was apparent of their love for the employee owners that
work for our company, the dedication she showed to wanting to give them all the answers she could, whether it be about the ESOP, the benefits, just any corporate related issues. It was just a lot of fun because after every trip, the individual would say, "I think that's my favorite crew." So she really connected to everyone that she touched. She's a super individual. She can communicate with all of our employee owners, both English speaking and Spanish speaking, especially the Spanish speaking employee owners. She makes a huge connection with. She helps them understand what our ESOP program is about. Outside of work, you can see her at many of the Garney charity events with her husband. I understand she has quite the shoe collection. Takes up a full bedroom in her house, I understand. Maybe a little room for some Garney apparel, I'm told, maybe a few CrossFit things. But it's just an honor for me and a thrill to be able to give this award to this fine lady. And there was one comment that really struck me. For those of you that know her, somebody returned this to me, and I thought it said exactly who she is. I think many would consider Angie one of their closest friends, and that's what we should all strive to be. So help me congratulate Angela Carney at her 2015.
The next award is the Team Garney Award. As most of you know, we wouldn't be anything without our great business partners. This partner of ours is a national company, and in particular, this partner has helped grow a lot of our areas, in particular my area for sure. I'll just say some things that a lot of people have talked about, and I think this sums it up better. One says, "I appreciate their willingness to work with Garney on alternate procurement pursuits. They signed a project with potentially few details, like 30% documents to their team, and utilized either the North Carolina or San Antonio group to give us an appropriate budget for our cost." Another one says, "If Ferguson makes an error, they own up to it and don't try and push it back on us. I truly feel that Ferguson puts Garney needs at their utmost importance. We work with a few different vendors on occasion, and when this happens by the end of the project, we realize how much they do for us and why it's a privilege to be able to work with them. Their knowledge, customer service, product lines, and pricing allow us a level of comfort that is second to none. You can be sure on bid day that if a mistake is made, they always take care of the problem and do not pass it on to Garney. If you run into a difficult spot, they will drop what they are doing to try and help us find a solution to the problem. They have invested hundreds of hours to train our crews on duct iron pipe, PVC, Victaulic, flange fittings, and MJ fittings to allow our colonial owners to reach their full potential. This level of service does not exist much anymore. Ferguson is a problem solver, not a problem maker." Another one goes on to say, "Ferguson understands our purpose of excellence as a standards by working with us to find lower cost alternatives. Working together, we've been able to offer numerous BE items to owners, making it a win-win all the way around. We have built a great relationship over many years, and I know that we can count on one another at all times, even especially when it is an emergency. When it comes to supporting our team, Ferguson is like a fellow employee owner, always willing to go the extra mile." And some of my comments are, My group's growth over the past years would not have been possible without the development of Ferguson also. In particular, our group has been affected by the Tulsa group led by Greg Deal. Everybody at Ferguson has always helped out other areas also. We have 191 waterworks departments all across the nation. A lot of you use them. Being an American and Pratt represents, along with other reputable firms, that have a huge amount of resources to draw upon. And in closing, I'll say again, they've given numerous piping seminars, but not only to our crews that went on to universities that have helped us recruit at other colleges. And with we have 3 other guest members here today. Greg Dill, who is the Tulsa branch. And then Shane Ray, who is Sean, a little personal because I like Ferguson, sorry. But anyway, and then also Tom. Right now, if you guys would come up and accept this award, I'd be greatly honored.
I tell you, it truly is overwhelming to be standing up here in front of 350 employee owners of this incredible, incredible company. I tell you, and to be honored in the way in which we're being honored, it's wonderful. I've known about this for a couple of weeks, and we've been keeping it secrets from the rest of the Ferguson group. We can't wait, probably tonight, to call some of our folks to let them know what Gorney's done for us, and they are going to be proud. Now, I got to tell you that this isn't the first award that Ferguson's ever gotten, because we award ourselves all kinds of awards. We give ourselves sales awards, we give ourselves greatest branch awards. We've even got vendors that give us awards. But when you're a $2 billion waterworks company and you're their biggest customer, they feel obligated to give you a plaque or something. This is different. This is an award from our customer. And it's not just a customer, it's Garney Construction. Look around this room. It's Garney Construction, the leader in our industry. And not only that, Garney Construction is Ferguson Waterworks' largest individual account. I can tell you that getting something like this validates what we're doing. It validates the people that are in the field working hard. It validates the business principles that we operate under. I can also tell you that the 3 of us that are here, 2 of us had very little to do with this award. 2 of us didn't have anything to do with this award. It's the 2 old guys down on this side. We're referred to as corporate overhead or something like that. There's laws that are in place that make them keep us on. But there is a guy here, and it's Greg Dill. And Greg Dill, I tell you, he's been special. He's got a special relationship with Garney. And we've got a number of other people throughout the United States that have got these special relationships with Garney. And I tell you, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least mention a few of their names. I know I'm going to miss somebody. Jim Burgess out in California, Greg Go in Phoenix, Will Drury in Colorado, Chris Parris in South Texas, Josh Johnson in Orlando, Tom Fusco in Georgia, Wes Kane in South Carolina,
Ben Ratney, who's not here tonight. He's out entertaining some other Garney people. And Ryan Smith in our Mid-Atlantic area. And then there's the entire support crew that goes along with them. We've got our inside salespeople, we've got our warehouse workers, we've got our drivers, we've got our branch managers. It's all of these people that are out there working hard for Garney Construction. I tell you, I received a call from Jason. Typically when I get a telephone call from Jason, it's not to share niceties. He's not calling to talk about Christmas cookie recipes or anything. So I did my George Costanza and I got underneath my desk. By the time the phone call was done, I tell you, I was on cloud nine. I have never received a phone call like that. I was honored, I was proud of our company, and I tell you, I acted professional on the phone when you're on the phone, but when I hung up, that's pretty exciting. But I tell you, the world is a funny place, and within 15 minutes, the telephone rang, and it was our project manager from Mid-Atlantic, Justin. Justin says, Tom, I need to tell you something. Gotta give you the heads up. We're getting ready to put Garney into liquidated damages on the Panda Energy project. because we can't get the stainless steel butterfly valve discs that they need to finish the project. And outside I threw up. Came back in, and I'll let you tell you what, is Sam Flowers out there in place? Sam and his team worked hard with our group. We got the specification changed, we ended up shipping the valves, we got all that stuff, and it's like, Sam, had you not been able to do that for us, I would have had to call Jason and tell him I was sick and couldn't be here tonight. So I tell you, Garney is a special company. Garney is demanding, but fair. Garney Construction has made Ferguson Waterworks a better company, and we appreciate it. And I tell you, forward, we are very excited, and thank you so much for this honor. Our folks are going to be extremely excited.
All right, so we are at our final award tonight, and it's always extremely fun to present this award, and something that is that everyone in this room should be very proud of. So this is our Spirit and Dedication Award. It's our top honor that we give to one employee owner every year. And we've been giving this out for a long, long time. It was originally named after George Enright, who was an individual that I never got to know, but I think a couple of people in this room know him, but I believe he exhibited some traits that Mr. Garney and the team back then really, really looked up to. And we changed the name to the Spirit and Dedication Award because nobody knew who George Enright was anymore, so. So it's a great honor to present this award tonight. The individual receiving this award tonight is very well deserving of this award. When I think of the word spirit, I correlate that to optimism, passion, and belief. This individual is a great example of spirit. When I think of the word dedication, I correlate that to commitment, devotion, and sacrifice for the company. So this individual is quite simply off the charts in this area and has spent most of his life doing so for the company. Other adjectives I would use to describe this person include integrity, selflessness, and honesty. Sounds a lot like our goals and philosophies, doesn't it? Organization is not high on this individual's skill set. Neither is dotting I's or crossing T's. Sometimes this person can be a little discombobulated, but we love this person and wouldn't change anything about them. Actually, that's wrong. We do wish he would get his whip submitted quicker on time. The only time I've seen his desk clean is a few weeks after he moved into a new office. He probably emailed a picture to every one of his clean desk. However, I haven't seen his desk or a similar picture since. This individual enjoys smoking cigars and drinking a dark stout. When he leaves the office in the morning, he doesn't just bring a cup of coffee, he puts the whole pot of coffee on the floor of his car and drives around. He's not the most technically savvy individual in the company. He still has a flip phone. Has a problem with his hard drive. That's not an IT problem, but in college, he won the six-pack chugging contest by chugging a whole six-pack in about 2.5 minutes. We need to put that on his resume. This is interesting. Whereas most people, when they stay at a hotel, when it comes time to take a shower, they will walk to the shower and undress there, and then take a shower. This individual gets undressed and then walks across the room to the shower. Okay? So certain individuals have stayed in a hotel room before and witnessed this. So I won't go into any more detail about that. This individual has a beautiful wife who's here tonight and who has supported him throughout his career and traveled with him in several different places. He has 2 beautiful daughters, Emily and Allison. Please help me congratulate Steve Ford.
I did not expect this. It's interesting because it's funny. There's an engineer in town in Nashville named J. Roy Wolf, who finally decided to retire at the age of 85. And the year before he retired, at one of the professional engineers conferences, they presented him with Outstanding Engineer of the Year. And I remember Mr. Wofford commenting, he said, all this is living proof in 1979. And the primary reason was because the company wanted me to travel. And it's interesting, and I've told some people this story. I had a lot of job offers my senior year in college, and I'd actually written a rejection letter to Garney, and I was headed out the door of the house that morning with a letter in hand with a stamp on it. Anybody that knows me, I've still got that letter in my pile of stuff. But the phone rang. Right as I was headed out the door, the phone rang. I walked back in the house. I walked over and answered the phone. I said, "Oh." I said, "I'm looking for Steve Ford." I said, "This is Steve. This is Charles Garney." He said, "I wanted to call and check and see if you made a decision yet on the job offer." I said, "Well, yeah, Charles, in all candor, I hate to say, but I've actually decided to decline the offer, and I had the rejection letter I was getting ready to mail to you today." "Well, why, Steve? Why, we really want you to come to work for us." I said, "Well, Charles, I'm trying to get to Kansas City." I said, I just don't want to travel. I mean, my whole point in interviewing is to get a job in Kansas City, and I just don't want to travel. Charles, being the consummate salesman he was, "Oh, we've got jobs that don't require travel." I said, "Well, really? Nobody talked to me about those jobs." But anyway, the point is that since I've worked with Garney, I absolutely have gone anywhere and everywhere the company has asked me to go. I met my wife in Austin, Texas, and from there Garney asked me to go to Washington, D.C., and when Monty Tripp called me and asked me that, my first comment was, "What about Swatic? Why don't you send Swatic up there?" And I literally left Austin kicking and screaming. But again, I've been a Garney man my whole life. And anybody knows me well knows that. But again, I think people need to understand and appreciate just how important it is and why this company has been as successful as it has. And that is people being willing to go where the work is and take advantage of opportunities. That's what's made us successful. And I'm honored and humbled. Thank you.
Stage is a little wobbly. Can't tell you how fortunate and blessed we all are to work with this great company, and don't take it for granted. I certainly don't, and I know you guys don't either. I want you to go out and have fun tonight, enjoy yourselves, and represent Garney well. And congratulations on an amazing 2015. We are positioned to continue to grow and excel. It's unbelievable the position we are right now in our industry. And it's because of all of you and all of our people in the field. Thank you very much for what you do all day. And have fun tonight. Good night. Thank you. You're done.
No, I'm not done. It would be a mistake for me to not acknowledge. How important it is to have, I shouldn't have looked at her. To have an understanding wife. Sherry's put up with a lot of my crap. I didn't get married till I was 32, and I've told people it probably took that long before I could find a woman that would put up with me. But she's been, for the most part, pretty understanding. Just put up with a lot, and a lot of absence. And so, for you single men out there, finding an understanding spouse if you decide to ever get married, and same for the single women, is very, 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 very important, particularly in this business. It's a tough business. Thank you.